I would say at Chaminade, fostering faith is pretty much, I would guess that the students are more responsible than anyone wherein their interaction kind of fosters their faith. And I don't mean faith in a particular God per se. I would say faith in each other, in humankind, in their abilities, in, their, their freedoms, it just all encompassing. In terms of religion, I wouldn't say that faith is fostered in the classroom. I would say that it's modeled by behavior outside of the classroom where it counts the most. So.
Well, as far as just like knowing that I'm part of a community, I think being at the school has really helped me, and like in terms of service, and having that be at the forefront of like what it means to be a good person on this earth, I think that's definitely helped me here at this school. As far as just like really forming my faith and my religious beliefs, I am Christian, but I'm not so much part of like the institutionalized like capital C church sort of thing. I grew up Presbyterian, and I do still kind of hold on to that, but it's just like I consider those two separate, like the churches, two separate communities. I think the Presbyterian church is a bit more like open, not as formal, and not as like prone to, I don't know, regulation might be a bad word, but it just doesn't have all the formalities of the Catholic Church and all of the different like practices that we have here at school. So those differences I definitely notice, but it's really helped me know what it means to be part of a community, especially think of young people too who all have a sort of faith or belief, because my church is really like, it's got a really old congregation, so I think getting that exposure is really good too, and I thank the school for that. So like I've run into a lot of problems with the changes to the service requirements here at school. Not that service is a bad thing, like I love doing it, it's just the whole mentality that it all has to be like with your class, and serving, like I understand having like a motivation behind like tying it into your class and your curriculum and all of that. It's just like some of the organizations that have been chosen have not been the most helpful or convenient. So I think definitely going back to the old system of having just each person choose where they wanted to serve individually, and maybe getting a group together if you wanted, would be more helpful. But I mean, as far as curriculum and everything, I've had some really great teachers who were just very open, just to accept, like, hearing other beliefs and like allowing others to know that they exist, maybe not exactly have to accept them, but yeah, so that openness is something that's really great and I think should be kept.
So in sophomore year, I had a teacher who kind of contradicted on what my opinion of religion and the Bible should be, because I grew up in a home where the Bible was taught in a way, and I went to a church where the Bible was taught in a way where it was about inward change in yourself, rather than trying to change other people. It was about accepting people no matter who they are, be they homosexual, from a different upbringing of religious toleration. And so I went into this class with those preconceived notions of what religion was and how it was a very personal thing. And I was confronted with a view of religion where it was very external, and it was about changing others and converting and looking at others' faults rather than your own, and not really accepting but trying to make people conform to what you wanted. So it made it really hard for me to believe in a formal religion for that reason. And then also, as I progressed in high school, I became more and more aware through just like taking like world history classes of like just the grand inequality of people, and the logic of having like a God be favorable to people that want their sport dreams to come true, or want them to win the lottery, or to make that one free throw. And while there's people starving in Somalia, and there's conflicts throughout the Middle East, or just child labor in China seemed a little ridiculous to me. And that's when really my faith transformed from a faith in a higher power into like faith in ordinary people, because I believe people are good, but when we have a higher power, it becomes a scapegoat for our room.
I think my religious experience at Chaminade has had its ups and downs. I come from a Catholic family, have gone to Catholic school my whole life, and I think the religion classes at Chaminade are a joke and a big waste of time. I don't think that anything ever gets accomplished in those classes that's worthwhile, but I do think there are some aspects of religion at Chaminade that are good. Some of the things, a field trip that I just went on to Dolores Mission in East LA and to Homeboys, I think that was probably the best field trip I've taken overall at Chaminade, and it was through my religion class, Church in the Modern World. I think that was a really good experience, and it got us to see things outside of our bubble of a valley. But overall, I think Chaminade's religion department does more harm than good. I think that the things that they teach are not always, first of all, true. About the Catholic Church. I also don't think that they're very receptive to other ideas, the specific religion teachers. And they do not encourage discussion enough in the classes. So, yeah. These are a huge waste of time. I've gone to Catholic school and I go to Mass every Sunday, and I've gone to Mass almost weekly or monthly throughout my whole life. And I think the majority of the Masses that we've gone to are like such a joke, and they don't try to encourage student participation, or they don't really have any substance to them. I think the last Mass we went to actually was the best one that we've had ever at school, when we had different speakers come in from different religions, like the East Orthodox or the rabbi. I think that was really good, and I think kids definitely engaged more in their talks than the previous Masses, but other than that, I think they're a big joke.
Hindu. So in some ways it has, some ways it hasn't. One way it hasn't is obviously religion class, learning about the Bible and whatever, like Jesus Christ and stuff. But also it's helped me learn my faith as well, to like believe in it more, and the more like morals of it and things like that. Not so much as like the actual gods, but the actual like morals and teachings behind them.
I don't think it really has helped me develop my faith, but I think the retreats help get closer together with your class and help unify you.
At Chaminade, since we have the new community service hours, I think I've learned to grow in my faith because I've helped other people and seen the effect that I have on other people who need my help. For example, at Loaves and Fishes, I volunteered, and it was a really great experience to help feed the poor and see what it was like to live like that.
I don't necessarily know if Chaminade's like helped or progressed my faith in any way. What they have done though, in like a good way, is like we get educated and we're able to understand different religions and different beliefs, which is kind of cool. But I think for most people it kind of hinders them. For me, I don't really think I've changed all of my faith, because most of my faith was self-gained, and like it's going to be self-gained, like whatever faith I have. So I don't think anything is like going to really influence me, and Chaminade didn't really influence me, either negatively or positively. But I think the religion like department does like a decent job of like trying to influence, or not influence kids, but like benefit them. They're very strict, so I think that's the way like it kind of hinders students. But they also explore different variations of religion and stuff like that. So
I think Chaminade has definitely given me an environment where I can safely and genuinely practice my faith and exercise my faith in such a way that I can do it with like my peers, and also in an atmosphere where it's judgment-free.
To be honest, I feel like my faith kind of died a little bit since I started Chaminade, mostly because of, I guess, how they were just, the vibe I get is that they're kind of not as accepting towards other like religions or other beliefs when it comes to religion. So I tried to form my own, I guess, belief instead of believing what they enforced on me, I guess. But
well, before Chaminade, I wasn't really the most religious person. I had very little to none sense of education about, the faith of, Christianity, of Judaism, of Muslimsism, which is what I am. I don't even know what the word is for it. And, I've only been to a couple bar mitzvahs. That's my extent of religious education. But, when I came to Chaminade, I took the classes, I learned a lot, I developed a relationship with my teacher, and this is overall the experience. I'd probably give it a C, cause like I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a B.